Let's talk about Snyder's-Lance routes. Before we go forward, let me give you the disclaimer. We do not represent the companies being advertised, but rather the individual sellers and their distribution rights. The information contained in the videos are from the previous questions and answers based on interactions with previous sellers and listings. So, in 2010, the big company Snyder's and the big company Lance decided to merge. What's interesting about this is Snyder's routes, previously Snyder's of Hanover, were independent operators. And then, of course, Lance were an employee-based business model, kind of like Frito-Lay. Two companies decided to merge in 2010, with Snyder's being the majority shareholder. So they are now called Snyder's-Lance routes, and they have merged all their products under one roof, and it's quite extensive. They now carry, the Cape Cod, the Crunchers, Snyder's brand of pretzels, the Lance crackers, Cape Cod, I think I mentioned, Grande, Eat Smart, some beef jerky, Stella Dora, Archway cookies, and so on. So there are a lot of items that you are responsible for. So what happened in 2010 is the company kind of bought back all the routes and did some restructuring. The reason for that is really simple. They had a Lance employee go into the store, and they had a Snyder's rep go into the store, and they basically didn't want two employees representing one company. So they bought all the territories back, reconfigured them, and basically now they are all what's known as equity or distribution routes and are being sold to the company. The company does offer financing, so yes, they do back their routes. They do guarantee them to a certain extent. So, if you're looking to invest in something and you're looking for a secure investment, obviously a route that offers financing is backing their name, is backing their distributorship. So it eliminates a lot of the risk for you. Also, Snyder's-Lance now is the second largest salty snack producer in the nation, and that's right behind Frito-Lay. So the type of distributorships are owner-operator type distributorships. I can pretty much tell you that unless you're going to be an owner-operator, this is the business for you. If you're going to be an investor and you want to hire employees, Snyder's-Lance is not going to allow for that. They want to see an owner-operator type situation. And again, that's pretty common in the trend in the industry going forward with the Arnold Bread and other similar routes. There are a few routes that do offer you the ability to hire employees, like Martin's, Missions, and potentially FedEx. But for the most part, these big branded companies kind of want to see owner-operator type situations. Financing for Snyder's routes are a little bit difficult to determine. They have different types of routes, and they have different formulas they use for different areas of the country. To give you an idea, they may have what's called a C-store type route, and that would be 30, 40, 50 convenient gas station, restaurant type stores. They have what's called grocery store type routes. Those were what were originally created. I think they're going forward, they're kind of trending away from the grocery store routes. The grocery store routes had 4, 5, 6, 7 stores on them. Then they had what's called the combo routes, which were a mixture of the C-stores and the grocery stores. I think for all intents and purposes moving forward that Snyder's wants to go in the direction, just my opinion, of more of the combo routes. That's what I'm seeing. As far as financing ratios, you're going to see anywhere from, in Texas, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 1, and then maybe in the Southeast 13 to 1, and as high as 14 to 1 in the Northeast. Again, it's just going to be variable. Snyder's really determines that, and it's hard for us to kind of get a gauge on their formula. We have to go by what the distributor's telling us and by what they paid for the route. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Again, great products, great company. Bottom line is their inventory is ran a little bit differently than most distributorships, but once you get the hang of that, you should be good. The difference with chip routes is you're not loading in the morning. You're going to run your route, you're going to run your territory, and then at the end of the day, you're going to go to the warehouse and load product for the following days. Now, with bread routes, you're probably going to load more than likely every day that you work. With chip routes, that's not necessarily the case. You can, load 2, 3 times a week, depending what type of promotions you're going to have. Hours of operation are going to be dictated again by the grocery stores. That 4 to 10, 11 o'clock a.m. time window for grocery stores. However, if you have C-stores on your accounts, you can pretty much service those at any time. So there's some more flexibility there to kind of start a little bit later if you have some C-stores on your route, and you can service those at the end of the day. As far as days off, it's going to be Wednesday and Sunday. And just to give you an idea, fair market value, like I said, can be as high as 20 to 1. They're ranging in range from 17 to 18 to 1 up to 20 to 1 as far as a fair market selling price value. As far as finance value, it can be 13 to 1, it can be as low as 6 or 8 to 1. It really depends on the type of route, and like I said, the company determines that. This will conclude our Snyders-Lance tutorial. If you have questions, always feel free to email us.